I'm a lawyer and I'm going to explain the Kathleen Folbigg matter. And this is one of the most interesting and sad situations that has happened in the New South Wales legal system. Kathleen Folbigg was a mother who had 4 children. The first child died very tragically from SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome. And tragically, her next 3 children all died in ways that were awful. This led police to investigate and say, well, there's a pattern here. We believe that Miss Folbigg might be responsible for the killing of her children. And so Miss Folbigg was taken to trial on this, on 3 counts of murder against her children. She maintained her innocence the whole way through. Now, she had understandable mental health issues. She's lost all of her kids. She wrote things in a diary that were relatively vague, but the prosecution used this in a prosecution against her to say that she knew what she was doing and that she had intention to commit these acts. In 2003, she received a 25-year jail sentence, and she's been in jail for the last 20 years. Now, both herself and her advocates have always said she's innocent. She's always maintained her innocence throughout this entire process. And so what happened was they managed to obtain an independent review of the decision by a former Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. That Chief Justice Bathurst, made findings that there was a very reasonable and arguable case that she was not guilty of these charges. And so on the basis of that recommendation, and remember this was an inquiry, it was done with counsel assisting, the Attorney General has just ordered her release. Now, she's still convicted. Only the court can overturn that, but it's envisaged that that might be a process that happens. And if that happens, she would also have reasonable grounds to seek compensation against the state, and that would be a substantial amount. So we have a mother who lost 4 children. She lost her good name. She lost 20 years of her life in custody. And only now is the justice system going back and saying what happened to her was wrong. What happens from here is going to be very interesting, but it's very sad that this happened to her, because the biggest failing in the legal system is not if a guilty person gets away with it. It's when an innocent person languishes for something they didn't do. And that's when I consider the system to have failed. And it certainly failed her in this case. Follow me for more legal TikTok.